Over the past 20 years, we've seen quite a few interesting trends occur in the automotive industry. In the early 2000s, we saw hybrids appear as compact economy cars, and today you'll find that supercars use hybrid systems. We've also seen fully electric vehicles, or EVs, just appear everywhere now in the 2020s. We're witnessing the death of the sedans and the rise of the SUVs. I'm still not happy that Acura is killing off the TLX. I'm very sad. And we're seeing a stark decline in manual transmissions too. Mazda really should just put the manual transmission in the Mazda 3 Turbo instead of putting the manual transmission in the normal Mazda 3 and the automatic in the Mazda 3 Turbo. That makes no sense. And we're also seeing larger engines be replaced by smaller turbo engines. AMG did this, and they're bringing the V8s back now, which Ram did this, they're also bringing the V8s back. Another W, Honda did this in the SI. I don't think they're bringing the K series back, which not a W. But the trend that I want to talk about is equally concerning and not even mentioned. It's design copycats. If you made it this far, you're probably wondering what I'm going on about, and I'm quite literally talking about automotive manufacturers copying each other's designs. And at first glance, this may seem like something that doesn't happen that often, but with just a little bit of research, I was surprised at the amount of different examples I could come up with. So we have an example of a mainstream brand copying another mainstream brand. So both the previous and current generations of the Honda Accord very strongly resemble the Audi A7 from their generations. Additionally, the current generation Civic really looks like the Audi A3, and the body lines, the proportions, the bumper designs across these cars are nearly identical. And after seeing them side by side, I can't unsee this resemblance. We also have an example of a mainstream brand copying a performance brand, and this may be the single worst case of mimicry I've seen while researching for this video. The Buick Envista looks really good. It looks so good that it may not even look like a Buick. That's because it looks exactly like the Lamborghini Urus. Yep. Finally, we have the opposite. We have a performance brand copying a mainstream brand. Not too long ago, Ferrari debuted their SUV. I'm not even going to try to say the name, I don't know how. It looks pretty cool. In fact, it looks just like a Mazda CX-30. Yes, they did that. And these are just a few examples that I thought were exceptional, though a brief internet search is going to bring you many, many more that I didn't even mention. So now that I've gone over some examples of what I'm talking about, I also want to briefly go over what I'm not talking about, just so that I'm clear. I'm not talking about manufacturers simply matching vehicle shapes or segments. For example, the BMW X6 and the Mercedes-AMG GLE both look similar, but that doesn't mean that Mercedes and BMW copied each other like maybe Buick did to Lamborghini. These vehicles do not share the same body designs, they don't share the same proportions, they don't share the same bumper designs. The only thing they have in common is that they have the same shape. That doesn't mean these two brands copied each other, it just means they both made a coupe SUV or an SUV coupe. Now that I've made that point clear, why should you even care? And that's a very good question. So far, the most obvious implication of what I've been talking about is that we have lots of cars that look alike. But let's take that implication or that thought and project it out 10 or 20 years into the future. We're going to have a lot more cars that look similar, and we may even reach a point where every car from every brand looks the same. And that scares me. It scares me because we risk losing something precious. We lose uniqueness. Now, the beauty of having different manufacturers exist is that we, the consumers, get to have more choice, and that's a luxury. Each manufacturer has different ideals, values, strengths, weaknesses, and most importantly, design languages. If this copycat trend continues, we risk the chance of losing this uniqueness. And this trend isn't even just limited to the automotive industry. In fact, we've watched it play out at a much faster scale in the cell phone industry. Now, if we go back to the mid to late 2010s, phones from different brands looked very different. Samsung had curved screens, Apple still had a home button, and Google was offering a fingerprint scanner on the back of their Pixel phones, and if you swipe down on it, you get to see your notifications. Now, what have we seen happen since then? Most new phones look like each other. Let's take a look at the Samsung Galaxy S25, Apple's iPhone 16, and the Google Pixel 10. They're all glass slabs with the same rounded corners and camera bump. Yes, tech drove some of that uniformity, but the result is still a market where it's hard to tell one device from another, and cars seem to be going down the same path. We're observing the early stages of the same phenomenon occurring within the automotive industry. The cell phone industry moved way faster because a new cell phone comes out every single year. Now, a new car manufacturer may only release a new generation of a model every few years. Now, I'm of the opinion that a loss of uniqueness is always bad for the customer because it reduces choice. And I think that a customer having more choice or a consumer having more choice is always a good thing. Therefore, I find the trend of this growing copycat stuff going on in the automotive industry to be concerning. The design of a car is a deeply important aspect as it controls so many different parts of the experience and the market. A car's design allows the individual who purchases it to express themselves through the car. A car's design provides brand differentiation within the industry, and unique designs allow iconic cars to exist. If cars don't look unique, iconic cars wouldn't even be a thing. So if we lose unique designs, we stand to greatly weaken every single one of these aspects. And I'd really hate to see originality become a thing of the past. Cars have always been more than just transportation. Their identity, their history, their art on wheels. If originality dies, we lose more than just design. We lose part of what makes car culture so special. Thank you guys so much for watching all the way to the end of this video. If you liked what you saw, I'm going to have some more videos right here on the screen for you. Also, if you liked what you saw, please consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate that. And check out my blog, www.sharksauto.com. Everything on there is free. You can see all of my articles, and every one of my YouTube videos is based on an article, and the articles go up first. So if you want early access, check out the blog, and I will see you guys next time.